All right, good evening. Welcome to another episode of The Pop-Up, coming to you live from the Black Media Matter studios in downtown Seattle. I am your host, Omari Salisbury, known on the streets as the Big O. Man, we got a great show on tap for you tonight. We're joined by Melvin Slaughter and King County Superior Court Judge Sean O'Donnell. And before we get into that, though, man, we got to give a big shout out to one of our sponsors, We Rise Wines. My understanding is this is a nice video playing for you right now. We Rise Wines are located on 2nd Avenue, right across the street from the Moore Theater. It's not only like a wine bar, but they got like great food. All the wines, they're for us, by us. So you got extra incentive to go there and support them. It's also a great event space as well. You can learn more by visiting werisewines.com. All right, let's get right into it and get into our introductions here today. Again, like I said, we have Melvin Slaughter, and we have King County Superior Court Judge Sean O'Donnell. I'll just call you Judge. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. That all works. Thanks.
Well, let's get into your introduction first. We'll put that up there on the screen. Moving quickly here today. Sean O'Donnell, King County Superior Court Judge, elected to King County Superior Court bench in 2013. Judge O'Donnell has served on the court's family law, civil, and criminal dockets. He does it all. His leadership roles have included 2 years as chief criminal judge and 2 years as chief unified family court judge. Ooh, I don't envy you, man. Family court. Judge O'Donnell is also past president of the Superior Court Judges Association, which represents more than 200 judicial officers across the state. Judge O'Donnell, welcome to the Pop-Up.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Yeah, great to have you. And our other guest, man, you here like every week.
Family.
You know what I'm saying? It's fam bam up in here. I'm talking about Mr. Melvin Slaughter for Solutions for Seattle. He's the founder. Melvin Slaughter, Solutions for Seattle is a community-led movement. You hear that? Movement. Hello. Dedicated to fostering collaboration between organizations and celebrating the city's youth. Through innovative programs, strategic partnerships, and impactful events, and one of those we'll talk about here tonight, Solutions for Seattle brings people together to create lasting change and to build a stronger, safer, and more connected city. That's all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Melvin, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
And as usual, you brought a whole cheer section with you too.
Shout out to the team.
Yeah, man, Melvin, man, you roll deep, bro. I'm glad we got the expanded green room for you now. You know what I'm saying? We'll fit everybody. So, okay, well, the way that this show works is the first thing that we do is we talk about some headlines that are going on in the city and get some of your thoughts on it. And then the second half of the show, we're going to learn a little bit more about each one of you guys and what you have going on. So you ready for that?
Absolutely.
Okay, first up, you ready, Mr. Director? Hello, here we go. It says, city leaders and residents march on Aurora Avenue demanding change. Mayor Katie Wilson absent. According to an article by Tyler Cunnington for Como News, hundreds of frustrated Seattle residents marched along Aurora Avenue North to demand immediate government action against the escalating sex trafficking and gun violence spilling into their neighborhoods. Sparked by recent shootouts between alleged pimps that left bullets lodged in homes and vehicles, neighbors are calling for concrete solutions, including permanent street closures, a dedicated police precinct directly on the avenue, and even state or national guard intervention. Although Mayor Katie Wilson was absent from the rally, prompting her office to release a statement highlighting upcoming road safety analysis and retasking of the Seattle Police Department's Gun Violence Reduction Unit to the area. Several city and county officials attended to hear the community's pleas. Amongst them was King County Councilmember Bob Kettle, who you saw right here on the pop-up, who emphasized the need to increase overall police staffing to help detectives dismantle these criminal networks. Now, I'll start with you, Judge O'Donnell, and we'll get deeper into the overall issue of sex trafficking here. But keeping it on this story, what did you think of when you see these residents now, marching in the streets up in Aurora?
Yeah, I live up in that area, and really my first thoughts out are to the young women who are, really caught in the victimization of who they are. This is a problem that's, I think everybody recognizes has been going on for many, many years. They're never easy solutions because you're dealing with people and trying to figure out what's the right balance of protection and police enforcement and the like. A lot of these are political decisions that, as a judge, that's not my wheelhouse to tell the mayor how to do her job or tell the police how to do their job. But as a citizen, as an observer, and actually someone, we'll talk about this a little bit later, someone who I do have a history in working on these cases, it just makes me very sad to see that we're sort of still in this caught in this same dilemma of violence and victimization. Right.
And now, Melvin, one of your initiatives under Solutions for Seattle is actually to reach young people. We know that it's so many of our young daughters and sisters and nieces that are caught up in sex trafficking and sex work up there on Aurora and other areas. So when you look at this right here of what's going on, now the residents up there are fed up, of course, but what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, like Mr. O'Donnell, it is sad. It's sad that we're normalizing that type of behavior. Like we're normalizing our young kids just being a part of that lifestyle. And I don't think that they really understand how much of an impact it has on you as you start to develop, being in the streets at a young age. There's just so much trauma and pain that comes from being in that lifestyle. So we want to offer all the help and the resources that we can just to educate them and support them and help them to transition out of that lifestyle. And I understand, coming from a public safety factor, that it affects everybody. It affects the young kids that are being affected, but it also affects the community too, because you got schools in that area, you got daycares in that area, you got small businesses in that area. So as a collective, I want to offer whatever support that we can to help get some of these young men and women off the street, to just educate them and support them and let them know that they're loved and we're here for you.
Right. One thing that I'm excited to talk to you about later on in the show is your outreach to young people, especially right now, man. We hear it all the time. We heard it from the Silent Task Force last week. These young girls are getting groomed in high school, either directly by older girls who are coming over there or by the internet, and or both. And so when young people have, when they're willing to give themselves a chance, and when people are giving them and showing them opportunities to give themselves a chance, that helps to counteract between all the negative forces that are out there. All right, so keeping it moving here, man. This CARE. When we talk about the CARE department, CARE is the non-lethal 911 response. It's the responder agency here. We actually had Chief Amy Barton. She was actually our first guest many moons ago. And so CARE, we'll talk about it. But this is up here. According to an article by my buddy Justin Carter from the Capitol Hill Seattle blog, Seattle's Community Assistance Response and Engagement CARE Department has established a new East Precinct hub for its crisis responders in a city lease building at 12th Avenue and Jefferson. Securing the shared location took over a year. for cost prohibitive. It was cost prohibitive in other places that they were looking at, Capitol Hill and First Hill. The new base supports an ongoing expansion of programs designed to handle mental health and addiction 911 calls, a growth effort initially backed by $1.9 million in federal funding under Mayor Bruce Harrell. Despite plans to expand its team to 48 responders this year, CARE Chief Amy Barton notes that the department's operations remain severely restricted by the Seattle Police Officer Guild contract, which limits interventions to outdoor public spaces and blocks dispatch in scenarios involving minors, drug paraphernalia, or potential crimes. Now, this CARE issue is way intense here for this whole conversation, but I can sum a lot of things up. And of course, want your thoughts on it. One, I think everybody agrees that CARE is great. And Seattle is a national leader in being able to have an unarmed 911 response to dealing with people who are in crisis. And it's good that CARE now actually they're trying to ramp up. Some of the issues that they face, though, is in the current police contract, it's a lot of people that they can't help. Meaning that, like, if someone is in crisis on a sidewalk, which is public property, right, they can help them. But if someone is in crisis in a QFC parking lot, it's private property, they can't help them. You see what I'm saying? It's a whole thing. I've been on this thing back and forth with Chief Barton. But overall about this story, Judge O'Donnell, and any other thoughts you might have, is that CARE's finally got an East Precinct home up there on 12th and Jefferson.
You know, right now I'm the lead judge up at Harborview Medical Center, and we have a courtroom up there to help people who are in crisis. Sometimes folks come in and they present as a danger to themselves or others, or they're gravely disabled because of a mental health condition. So we have a lot of folks in our community who are hurting because of deep mental health issues. Sometimes there's substance abuse issues that are layered on top of that. So as a general matter, the more help we can get folks, the more intervention upstream before they get to hospital or before worse, like they get to jail, that's a positive. We just have a lot of people in our community who are hurting.
Right. And are you aware of the CARE department?
I'm not, but just a little bit that you shared, I could see where there might be a little bit of resistance, somebody seeing that they want to help somebody go into a QFC parking lot, but their policy states that they can only move around. So, but you got somebody that's compassionate that wants to help, but it's like, do I really help this life-threatening person, or do I follow policy? So I just think that's the balance to try to figure out within working with the community and working with the private property structure. So.
Right, and let me get this camera here, Eric. Let me give a big shout out to the people over at CARE, man. I mean, you have some highly motivated people over there, and like these guys, they're legitimate like first responders. They go to an academy and all this and everything else, and they are there wanting to care for our community. Yeah, in my own personal opinion here, I think that they've been definitely hamstrung by the contract with Spock. You know what I'm saying? 100%. And I'm hoping that the city of Seattle can be innovative enough to let these caring people care for our community. So we'll continue to follow that. Big shout out, Chief Barton. We see you, man. Stay encouraged over there. Let's get your team on the streets. Moving on here to the next. Oh, this is good. It's going to be hot. I love hot weather. Hello. Rising temperatures could bring first significant heat wave of the year. According to an article in the Seattle Medium, Western Washington is preparing for its first major stretch of hot weather this year. Hallelujah. With the National Weather Service forecasting a 40 to 60% chance of hazardous heat conditions. Sounds great in Seattle between June 15th and June 21st. Before the heat wave arrives, though, a separate weather system on Tuesday is expected to bring isolated thunderstorms, gusty wind.
Sounds about right.
Anyways, looking ahead, forecasters warn that the prolonged period of hot and dry weather will likely elevate fire risks across the area. Yeah, we know that. Public health officials caution extreme temperatures pose severe health risks, disproportionately impacting vulnerable groups. like older adults and the unhoused and in low-income communities. And we also always tell people, man, these heat waves, check on your people. You know what I'm saying? Like check on your people. Is people dehydrate really fast, especially our elders and young people and everything else. All right, Judge O'Donnell, we got some high temperatures heading this way. Looks like 10 days of just great hot heat.
I guess I'll say I'll believe it when I see it. It's like a reverse snow day, right? Everyone says it's going to. Anyways, it's overdue, right? One thing you didn't mention there is the rivers and the lakes are still cold. And so people get in there and there's like drowning because that cold water can take the air out of your, take the breath out of you. So that's something that probably folks need to just be mindful of too. Like we were mentioning, check on your people. Just be super smart getting in the water. I'm looking forward to it. I feel like we've had 11 months of rain and gloom. So let's bring it on.
Yeah, no, it looks like it might be 100 degrees for Solutions for Seattle's Day here on June 17th. Huh?
Love it.
The roof will be open at T-Mobile Park.
Yeah, what I love about the Pacific Northwest and Seattle, I love that we get 4 seasons: summer, winter, spring, and fall. So to be able to balance that out.
Summer suspect, bro. I just let you know. I know it sounds good. So.
Right. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. When the sun comes out, it's it just brings good vibes, good energy. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, and I know Mr. Director is going to be on his roof having a cookout.
I'm coming.
All right. Our last one here. This one hits close to home in such a good way. This is from our friends at the South Seattle Emerald. Said, meet the Grand Marshal who's making history. In an article by our buddy Mike Davis. Mike Davis used to have a show right here on Converge for the South Seattle Emerald. Local advocate Deontay Damper. One time for Deontay Damper. All right. That's right. Deontay, that's our guy. He's making history as the first black man born and raised in the Emerald City to be selected as Grand Marshal of the Seattle Pride Parade. In an interview, Damper, a Rainier Beach High School graduate, can you hit the mic? Go ahead, camera. We won't hold it against you. All right. Rainier Beach High School graduate and host of Converge Media show We Live in Color reflects on her early experiences and his ongoing mission to provide black and queer youth with representation and community support he lacked growing up. Chosen to exemplify this year's rally theme, Damper considers the title a profound honor, recognizing his extensive advocacy work while also promoting the upcoming events throughout Pride and the Pride Parade on the 28th. So, all right. Deontay, do you know Deontay?
No, I don't know. That's great, though. What an honor.
Yeah, no, man, he's like from the hood,
Yes.
and he's the Grand Marshal.
Yeah, and
awesome.
and I just want to say, man, a special shout out to Deontay Damper, my friend. He was the first person that gave me my first piece of advice when I came home. So and he gave it to me raw. He said, "Mel, just be authentically Mel." You know what I mean? And from that day, everything else has been uphill. So I just want to say, man, I'm proud of you, brother. I appreciate your advice. I appreciate your support with Mel and supporting the movement and just showing up for the entire community. And, man, we love you and we're proud of you. And, man, we're just very grateful for your friendship, my brother. So.
Yeah, that's our guy, Deontay, man, he's living his best life right now. He just had his birthday. He's the Grand Marshal of the parade, all that good stuff. All right, well, it looks like we've reached the end of the first block here, so we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to learn more about King County Superior Court Judge Sean O'Donnell. You're watching The Pop-Up.
Women in Washington face more than twice the risk of syphilis in 2024, but cases are falling as we learn the facts and look out for ourselves. Yet 1 in 10 pregnant cases were among Black women, but more than half of potential congenital cases were prevented with early care. Early testing makes a difference. Get tested and protect yourself. Protect your child. Protect the community.
Hey, what's up, everybody? JD here. I'm tapping in to make sure you go to juneteenthwa.com to find out everything that's going on and stay up to date on all the stuff that will be happening at Juneteenth this year. The event, we are moving to the beautiful Hobb Field and parking lot A down over there. Make sure you go to the website to hear about everything. We're having a car show this year. We're doing the Taste of Juneteenth this year. And on the main stage, we are bringing Erica Campbell, Crystal Aiken, and Life Jennings, and we have some great local acts that you may have heard of, maybe you haven't, but you will hear about them on Juneteenth. So make sure you go to the website to learn everything you need to know about the event. Also, you can RSVP on the event if you want to be a vendor, if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to be a food truck. All that is on the website, juneteenthwa.com. If you want to sign up for the car show, juneteenthwa.com. We'll see you here. Peace.
Solutions for Seattle, June 17th, T-Mobile Park. Y'all know what it is. Log on to the website, www.solutionsforseattle.com, and be a part of youth empowerment. Let's empower the youth. This is a call to action, a ticket challenge. I need everybody to tap in. Y'all know what it is. Solutions for Seattle.
You heard it right there. Solutions for Seattle. All right, welcome back to the Pop-Up, coming to you live from the Black Media Matter Studios here in downtown Seattle. Joined tonight by Melvin Slaughter and also by Judge O'Donnell, King County Superior Court Judge. All right, Judge, we're gonna start with you. You know, something that we've actually been talking about here for quite a while, and we actually had LaTanya Dubois on this show last week from the Silent Task Force, and she was on the Day with Trey actually earlier today because she's been trying to raise the flag. Well, what they do, let me just say this, is, and we'll play a clip as well, is one of the main things they do is helping women, and mostly young girls these days, get away from the commercially, sexually exploited place. So there was traffickers, pimps, all that stuff, in reentry into society. And so this is something that's been on the radar. So your appearance here today is very timely. And I wanted to start off as like, what's your career history in handling sex trafficking cases?
Yeah, thanks for that question. So when I was a prosecutor before I became a judge, and very early on in my career, I got asked to be one of the lawyers to prosecute the Green River Killer, Gary Ridgway. And for those of you not from Seattle or maybe not familiar with that case, he was one of the nation's most prolific serial killers here in the King County area. Started killing in about 1982, probably earlier actually, but he targeted just who you've referenced, which is girls and young women who were in the commercial sex trade. A lot of them were runaways. Nearly half of his victims were under the age of 18, and many of them were from marginalized community and were people of color. That was a case that had gone unsolved for decades until investigators linked his DNA to the original victims, when DNA really wasn't used in forensic investigations. It was this in the early 2000s, like 2001. And when they arrested him, we had this situation where the elected prosecutor, is Norm Mailing at the time, had promised everyone in the community, we finally caught the Green River Killer, we're not going to bargain with the death penalty. So back then, the death penalty was still on the books in Washington State. Well, we were about maybe a year into the case when his lawyer came to the lead prosecutor and said, well, what if we could solve some of your unsolved cases? And what that really meant at the time for us is we had charged him with 7 murders, but what his lawyer was telegraphing is, with all these 42 other unsolved murders with no witnesses, no forensic evidence, no video camera, no cell phones, the only way that they would be solved, those crimes would be solved, was with the killer's confession. So to his great credit, and Norm has since died, but Norm said, yeah, let's see if we can do a deal here to solve all of these unsolved murders for these families. So for about 7 months, in secret, Ridgway was confessing to these crimes that he had committed after all these years. It was really sort of a surreal experience. We had a task force down at Airport East Marginal Way. It was in a commercial building, and we had to figure out, well, where are we going to keep him so the public doesn't know he's confessing? Because if it fell through, if the deal fell through, he still had to go to trial, and he'd never get a fair trial if it got out that he was confessing. So he lived it was crazy. I mean, truly. He lived in the task force supply closet. We put a bed in there, and he was guarded by the SWAT team. And for 7 months, he confessed to these terrible crimes. But one of the things he said is the reason he was able to get away with it for all those decades is he targeted these girls and young women because he believed that no one would care if he killed them, and that 3 days could go by, or 3 months could go by, or 3 years, or 30 years. There was some truth to that. I mean, their families loved these people. We loved these girls, loved these young women. But there was also another just sort of systemic aspect to it because of what they were doing. So that really informed my career. After that case, I tried the first human trafficking case in Washington State. That was back in the day where, Backpage.com, if you remember that website, like literally people were being sold on Backpage.com. And then I prosecuted the first commercial sexual abuse of a minor case. So again, forcing a young woman or girl into prostitution. And the coercion, the manipulation that you sort of referenced earlier was prevalent in all those cases. And the tragedy was when they were when young women and girls are out on the street like that, the exposure they have is frankly to someone who could kill them, or they could get a terrible disease, or they could be hurt, or all of that. So I think there is I don't want to say minimization, but there's something casual about it. People don't recognize how dangerous and devastating that life is.
Yeah, I think that, well, one, first of all, thanks for sharing all that, and as somebody who grew up here, I remember even was a kid, man, and the Green River Killer, and, and it was a thing, my mom was always a big, she always speaks highly of people who were involved in that, and even includes at the time Sheriff Reichert and Norm Mailing and the people who worked on the case. My mom was always like, they actually cared about the girls no one cared about. I mean, like you said, most were run away, and it's not like now where you got Instagram and Amber Alerts and all those kind of things, and somebody just disappeared. They disappeared, and the family might be looking for them locally in California, have no idea that their loved one's here, and all of that. How have you seen this? Man, I mean, how have you seen? I guess commercially, however you want to say, like, man, this. How have you seen all of this evolve over time here? And like, what are some of the things that you've seen change and happen? I know one thing that LaTanya said, that the youngest girl that they've pulled out of there was 12 years old.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, a major change is the internet and social media, and sort of the culture around that for young people, and the ability to advertise online. Like in the early 80s, when Ridgway was killing, it was all street prostitution. But with websites and the like, there's just a different aspect of that. There's monetization when people aren't fully engaged in prostitution, like OnlyFans and websites like that. But that method or that path, I think, increases the exposure that young people have. because some of them make a lot of money. I mean, it's all about the money. Let's be really clear. That's why this is happening, because there's money.
Right. And how much or little can you talk about, like, you're right, it's money, and what's fueling money is the demand, and the demand is the men, for the most part, that's out there. And I don't know, it always seems like the guys get off with a slap on the wrist when they're purchasing sex.
Well, I would say finding the right balance on how you prosecute, who you don't prosecute, like that's a political question, right? So I'm at a stage where I don't quarterback the politics or the policy. That's, our legislature is.
You come when they've already entered the system.
I come when they enter the system. I come when they are in front of me because they've pled guilty or there's been a trial. All sign search warrants, all do other aspects of those cases. But the policy side is, and I should say, we have people really invested in this who really care. I mean, you know a lot of these people. It's hard because you're right. There's demand, people paying money for it, people collecting money for it, and you don't want to re-victimize these girls and young women who are the really the victims in most of these instances. So it's a hard sort of balance of how do you get it right.
You have any thoughts on this?
Like he said, it is kind of layered but when you have certain crimes that are misdemeanors and then other crimes that are felonies, that's where that disconnect is. Because for one side, they get a misdemeanor and they get let out, but they still have whatever their thing is, whether it's pornography or it's a sex addiction, they still got that. So it's like they know I can go do it again because it's just a misdemeanor, a slap on the wrist, I can get out. But then you got the flip side to it, to where they get more time depending on the crime. So it's just,
I will jump in here and say this: the consequences for engaging with sex with a minor are much more severe than an adult. And in the minor, if you are a buyer, a purchaser of commercial sex, it really isn't a defense to say I didn't know the age. And in those instances, the time is significant, it's a felony, and there's a registration requirement. You got to register as a sex offender. Those crimes carry more consequence or more sanction than an adult who is engaged with another adult in the purchasing side of it.
Right. Actually, we got a clip here, don't we, Eric? So actually, this is Latanya Dubois from the Silent Task Force, and this was at the Summit for Crime Survivors that was up there at City Hall.
Understanding that it is an issue that is now out of control, and this is Black women and girls, and this is in Seattle, Washington, or across the state, and it's visible. It's not a secret. We are the second most prolific sex trafficking in the country. Part of the issue in the Black community is that these issues are normalized. It's apathy. If it's not happening to me, I don't care. And I'm sure there are other deeper underlying stigma and stereotypes that go with that. But in order for us to make this shift, we have to do more education and outreach, and the community deserves that. They need information and facts, not mis and disinformation.
All right. I actually met you there.
Yeah.
At the Summit for Crime Survivors for Commercially Sexually Exploited. What were some of your takeaways from that summit?
The lifelong trauma that being a victim of the commercial sex trade, how it stays with people, how the manipulation and the coercion is something that the victims never forget. the fear is something that's they will, unfortunately, many of them carry with for all their entire lives. But I also saw a lot of redemption, and at the summit you and I were at, and hope, like hope for this next generation, hope for, as she was saying in the clip here, more information to get out to build confidence, sort of what you're doing, build confidence, self-esteem, be a person for others. Like there's that is so powerful. And that was something I took away from that conference.
Yeah, no doubt. Man, I'm just kind of hopeful that, it's a lot that's getting ready to happen right now, and especially as we go into, as our city prepares for FIFA, everybody's telling them, that they're going after the hot dog vendor who don't have no license, and don't worry, I'm not going to drag you into no policy discussion. I'm just kind of ranting here for a second. That they going after the dude that he ain't got no license selling barbecue, you know what I'm saying? And they're going after if you put like a FIFA sticker in your window and you didn't pay FIFA, going after a lot of stuff, man. I just hope that the city as well is prepared for the influx, like any global event where you have hundreds of thousands of people anywhere across America or the world, that, man, the professional sex traffickers are going to be here if they're not already here. And by reports on the street, people are seeing all kinds of different things that are here. I hope that the city has allocated some kind of resources, because it's already a tough time for people trapped in this industry, and now it's getting ready to be. And anytime you bring people together like this, there's a demand. There's already the regular demand that's here in Seattle. And now you multiply that by all these people are coming to town and looking for a good time and everything else. And I mean, at the end of the day, I would just hope that our viewers just, man, stick with them, man. That it's like, people ain't thrown away, man. God don't make no junk. And you know what I'm saying? We got a lot of young people, young women, girls, young teens that have found themselves in awful situations out there. And, it just seems like something that's so basically on its front to be so easy to stop, but clearly, like when I was a kid, it'd be like, oh man, Aurora, this is crazy. Right. Like I'm an old guy now with these gray hairs, and it's the same story. It's still out there. Before we go to break, any last words on this topic?
I am encouraged that there are people who bring focus to it, who want to make a difference, who want to put an end to it, and who really want to help. That's so different than what was happening back when, frankly, Ridgway was murdering those girls and young women. It was such a different time. There was just such less recognition of the trauma and the victimization, and that's changed, and that's a positive. So that gives me hope.
All right, well, I can run with that. We all need a little bit of hope. And speaking of that, when we come back, we're gonna shift gears and something kind of positive around here, man. As we're gonna talk to Melvin Slaughter more about solutions for Seattle. You're watching the pop-up.
Solutions for Seattle, June 17th, T-Mobile Park. Y'all know what it is. Log on to the website, www.solutionsforseattle.com, and be a part of youth empowerment. Let's empower the youth. This is a call to action, a ticket challenge. I need everybody to tap in. Y'all know what it is. Solutions for Seattle.
Ole, 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 ole. Ole, ole. Ole, 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 ole. Ole, ole. Ole, 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 ole. Ole, ole.
This summer, Metro connects the world. Now's your chance to join the Days to Come Reading Challenge to ignite the civic imagination needed for racial repair in Washington state. Read, discuss, and take action until Juneteenth to bring Dr. King's vision of a truly just society to life. Visit saarcpnw.org for more information.
Hey, what's up, everybody? JD here. I'm tapping in to make sure you go to juneteenthwa.com to find out everything that's going on and stay up to date on all the stuff that will be happening at Juneteenth this year. The event, we are moving to the beautiful Hobb Field and parking lot A down over there. Make sure you go to the website to hear about everything. We're having a car show this year. We're doing the Taste of Juneteenth this year. And on the main stage, we are bringing Erica Campbell, Crystal Aiken, and Life Jennings, and we have some great local acts that you may have heard of, maybe you haven't, but you will hear about them on Juneteenth. So make sure you go to the website to learn everything you need to know about the event. Also, you can RSVP on the event if you want to be a vendor, if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to be a food truck. All that is on the website, juneteenthwa.com. If you want to sign up for the car show, juneteenthwa.com. We'll see you here. Peace.
Discover the raw, essential story of Northwest modernism through the Seattle Art Museum's Beyond Mysticism. This exhibition features over 150 pieces celebrating the region's natural beauty and urban life. Get your tickets today at seattleartmuseum.org. We'll see you there.
All right, welcome back to the Pop-Up, coming to you live from the Black Media Matter Studios right here in downtown Seattle. Big shout out to my homegirl right there, Treyana Holiday, Bayana. Make sure you tune in to Trey on The Day with Trey, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 11 a.m. All right. Man, Melvin, when are you not here in this studio?
Man, I'm family now.
Yeah, that's family
now.
Fam bam, it is. Welcome back, Melvin Slaughter. You are the CEO, the head, the director, the big cheese, the chief of Solutions for Seattle. But what's it all about?
Solutions for Seattle. We started as like a community initiative to like get the community engaged. So like that was like my call to action, right? Running around the city. Positive energy, good vibes, and it started as a community initiative, and then it evolved into a nonprofit. Like, okay, hey, let's develop some programming. We wanted to focus on the youth, like youth empowerment, because a lot of times we talk about meeting people where they are. So we wanted to be where the youth are and create programming that would appeal to the youth through music, art, and entrepreneurship. So that's what Solutions for Seattle is about. So,
okay, and I think we got some video here. So now Melvin, when we first met, and we had met, like we go back, and then you had gone away, and it'll be up to you if you want to talk about that or not.
Yeah.
And then I was like, when we met here, I was like, man, I just like you. You know, I remember that conversation. I was like, man, you know, I mean, because everybody's doing a lot of things, and that's great. But I was like, man, I like this guy. And you were having your blueprint brunch.
yes.
And you were like, man, anything that you guys can do, I just want to put everybody in one room. We got a short clip right here from the Blueprint Brunch.
Today, we're here at the Blueprint Brunch, Solutions for Seattle. And our goal is to bring the whole city together and put 100 of Seattle's most influential people in the building to have a discussion about solutions.
There's been a lot of chaos in our city. Just trying to find a way to get everybody together to at least start the narrative of being able to come together and speak these hard subjects. It has to start somewhere.
Right now, I'm seeing more people work together. I'm seeing people who actually have real deal lived experience, who are of the community, work for the community. People being intuitive with put forward initiatives and be creative with the way that we help our young people, the way that we help each other, and the way that we put sustainable systems in place for the advancement of our kind of people.
The vision's way bigger than all of us. We come from the inner city of Seattle. We come from Seattle. We come from adversity. We have overcome so much trauma in our life. There's power in our pain, and we believe that we're worthy of more. And we do have the power to change our narrative, yeah.
Sometimes we can't see worlds outside of one another's windows. And the Blueprint Brunch was an opportunity for us to be able to mingle, to network, and figure out how we can continue to make sure everyone has access to everything. I hope that people leave this brunch with knowing that we can also come back. And I hope that we continue to look forward to communing with each other, to building with one another.
And so you kind of came out of nowhere. To be honest, wasn't even kind of. You came out of nowhere, and in your first event there, you were really able to get a lot of very influential people from different aspects of our community too, from all different kinds of aspects, in one room to have a conversation.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, right? Everything is like interconnected, like entrepreneurship, community work, working a regular 9-to-5 job. And when I was away, for the viewers that know and the ones that don't, I did 14 years in the federal system. So this is actually a full circle moment to be sitting here with Judge O'Donnell, to be like on the other side of coming out the transition, giving back to the community, starting our own company, working full time. And we're making it cool to work a job. We're making it cool to chase your dreams. We're making it cool to be a parent and raise your kids the proper way. So I was seeing a lot of negativity being poured onto our city from a community aspect, and I just wanted to use my influence for something positive. I've always been known to have friends over here and friends in this section, and I was like, okay, how cool would that be to get everybody in one room and talk about solutions for Seattle? Let's have that conversation. What does that look like for our city? And so we created the Blueprint Brunch series. So it's like, okay, let's talk about the blueprint. Let's talk about solutions. And I was hearing a lot of people talking about being in silos and cliques, but we all do the same work. So I just wanted to get everybody together to say, hey, you're a solution for Seattle. You're a solution for Seattle. I'm a solution for Seattle. And let's speak life into each other instead of being in this organization and saying, oh, I don't want to work with them, but we all do the same work. And in Seattle, what I noticed is in our community, you might got one kid, but he got 2 different outreach workers or a case manager over here. It's a village, right? So let's all work together. Let's share resources. You hear this term all the time, gatekeeping. What we gatekeeping for if we all trying to get one common goal, which is to have a safer community, a community that invests into each other, and especially for our babies and our youth. So that was the whole idea behind creating Solutions for Seattle, the Blueprint Brunch, and now Lyrics Matter, because we also created a music program as well to be able to support our youth with art and music and guide them like, hey, we can create music and it doesn't have to be shoot 'em up, bang, bang. You can still express yourself through music, talking about where you came from or how you was raised without it being, coming from a place of like being condescending and trying to put somebody down. So that was the whole reasoning behind creating Lyrics Matter. We wanted to be more trauma informed so that we can dig a little deeper than just the surface level and understand our trauma and be able to express it and articulate it in a way that resonates with other people, where it empowers you instead of like, makes you want to go beef or makes you want to go hurt somebody.
So now, Joe, you see now why I was so excited to have Melvin here as a guest, huh?
Yeah, unstoppable. I mean, that optimism and hope, and I'm super impressed. And this is we all live here. We want it to be safe, and we want our kids to be happy and, have opportunity. And
yeah, and even from like
you and I just met tonight, but you got the vibe.
See, I think you guys will probably stay in touch.
Yeah.
So tell us here. Well, actually, I got a few more questions, but then we'll do a break too. But why is it so important for you to sit and advocate, especially for Seattle's youth?
It's important to me because I was once that youth. I was once the youth that was lost in survival mode, dealing with trauma, and I didn't know how to identify it. Coming from the hood. Mom was in the streets, also dealing with addiction. Dad was never around, so it was like all we know is to go to the streets, and we got that survival. But once I started educating myself and I started surrounding myself around good people and just having a community to pour into me, then I was able to have that mind shift, and I just wanted to come back and pour into my community, pour back into these kids, because they're the next generation. So it's like if we don't lead them, then they're just gonna be led astray. So that was my whole premise to wanting to come home and just put it all in the basket, man. I'm pouring it all into the community.
Man. All right, Eric, we're going to mix it up here a little bit because we're actually going to skip a break. Hope these advertisers don't get mad. I'll make it up to you. But I wanted to jump forward here and talk to you about what is Solutions for Seattle Day. I was giving Eric a heads up because we have an overlay he's going to put up on the screen.
Solutions for Seattle Day. I'm excited about this. We actually got a collaboration with the Seattle Mariners to help us with this fundraiser to create Solutions for Seattle Day, which is a day at T-Mobile Park to have like a safe space on the last day of school for the kids to be to where we're empowering the youth. There's a lot of kids that never been to a professional baseball game before. So this was like our opportunity to get them to the field, show them a good time, let them be around good people, and really just pass the baton. Like the baseball is the baton. So here you go. Throw the first pitch. And so that was like our idea behind creating Solutions for Seattle Day. And we're actually going to start in the daytime at Garfield High School because we collaborated with Garfield High School and also Community Passageways to create a safe space for the kids to have on the last day of school for making it through the school year. A lot of kids graduated, man, and we just want to support that. And so it'd be food, a DJ, and just a safe space for the kids to be at Garfield High School. And then after that, we're going to the baseball game. So it's like we just wanted to create a whole Solutions for Seattle Day where we're just empowering the youth.
That's fantastic. When people don't know, I'm an ambassador for the Seattle Mariners, especially around the Steelheads initiative. I made the video. I never miss an opportunity to tell people, Steelheads all over.
Man. Let me turn mine around too, man. Salute, man.
But the reason I say that is the one gift people could always get out of me, and so many people hit me up all the time, whether they're here in town or visiting, for baseball tickets. And I'm always like, that's the gift I know I can give. And I tell people, I'm like, I'm giving you something I love because I love baseball. So I give you some tickets. I'm giving you something that I love. I'm so excited to hear that we're going to have so many young people down there at T-Mobile Park. And it is an incredible experience. If you've never been to a baseball game before, you've never been into T-Mobile Park. And you know what? Experiences like that, every experience young people have gives them more impetus to want to give themselves a chance.
Yes.
Give yourself a chance to see what else is out there and everything else. I really salute the level of care and intention that you put in organizing this. I mean, it's a big deal. I'm supporting off tops, but when you say the Mariners, I'm a big supporter of this whole initiative here. And actually, we're getting ready to ramp up our communications. Just want to tell you, man, I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And how can our viewers catch up, get a ticket, or they're young people, or what needs to happen? What's the scoop?
If you would like to support and get some tickets, you can get 1 ticket, 2 ticket, 3 ticket, 4 tickets. Just go to our website, www.solutionsforseattle.com, and the link is on there. Just click on the link where it says get tickets, and it takes you straight to the link.
Yeah, and the best thing is is like what we're gonna do here at Converge is we're buying a bunch of tickets, and we're gonna give away, because also what you didn't mention is that it's also your partnership with the Mariners is also a fundraiser too.
Yes,
right?
our partnership with the Mariners is a fundraiser, and $10 off of each ticket goes to the music program that we created, Lyrics Matter. And yeah, we're just excited to be able to invest into the new music program, invest into the community, and really meet our youth and our babies where they're at, because all of them love music. So let's guide them.
You got it. Hey, so we did have some questions here, but I'm just gonna hit. That's why I wanted to do this now, because I think they're important. Judge O'Donnell, for you, what is a judge's responsibility to the community?
Well, I think doing justice is sort of a central role of what we do on the bench, bringing impartiality to really important decisions, making sure that people are treated with dignity and respect as they go through a really difficult process, whether it's a family law process or if it's the court I'm in now, the mental health court, whether it's the criminal court. Like, it is taxing and stressful, and it may be the most important moment in someone's life as they go through and weigh a legal decision. So I think judges have, beyond just the competence of knowing the law, we have a responsibility to the people who appear in front of us, that they felt like they'd been heard, even if they don't get the answer that they want. I think judges also have a responsibility to do things like this, to engage with community, so people know who they are. Not just someone sitting up there on the bench with a robe, and that we're real and care about Seattle and care about the state, and that is, I think, even a central feature of what we're supposed to do as members of this community, and as part of a branch of government that a lot of people don't understand, but is so critical to our democracy. Having that judiciary that's non-political, non-partisan, impartial, and a place where we can go and resolve disputes peacefully.
Yeah, I would say this: in 6 years of different shows here, you're the first sitting judge that's come here to Converge.
Oh, I appreciate you inviting me. I'm really thrilled to be here.
Yeah, well,
and I just want to say thank you for coming. I mean, it's to be able to come down here and really be open to having this conversation. Yeah, that's huge.
Thank
you.
I appreciate you saying that.
And Melvin, what does a healed community look like to you?
A healed community looks like collaboration, mentorship, support, positivity, being kind to each other, love. When I really started to learn how to love myself, it gave me a compass to be able to want to love and pour into others. So, and a healed community looks like Solutions for Seattle.
Hey, look at him. He's gotten so good at this. All right, Melvin Slaughter, Judge O'Donnell.
Thank you.
Thank you both for taking the time this evening.
Appreciate you having me.
Thank you.
All right, so before we get out of here, a little bit of house cleaning for you. Want to remind you, this is a business here. And so you can help support our business by visiting whereweconverge.com. You'll see all this great content that's there every single day. We do it for you. You can support our mission by clicking the donate button there. Eric might have a QR code on the screen over there.
I have a QR code up for the donations, but we need a t-shirt. Deontay.
Oh, it's coming. We got a little bit of time here today. We talked about Deontay Damper at the top of the show. And Deontay is the host of We Live in Color here on Converge. He's also the Grand Marshal this year for the Pride Parade. We have the We Live in Color t-shirts. This is a great t-shirt. High quality, by the way, locally printed by Concuss. Man, they're $40. And, you know, you need to buy one. Support the mission. Pick one up. And also, you know, as we're in Pride Month, it's a beautiful shirt that represents Pride as well. All right, it's time to wrap it up here. Big shout out to our producer for today's show, Mead Gill, our live director, Eric Calligraphy, and our young man with the plan, F-Bay, in the building. Man, tomorrow we're back with another fantastic episode. And until then, peace.